Hey guys, welcome to the Hanger Management Podcast. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Jac, and we are so excited because today we're talking about all things organic. Yay! Organics. I'm so excited. Okay, as per usual, before we dive into the episode, a couple housekeeping things. Number one, this is not a kid-friendly show. We fucking swear a lot. Number two, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Hanger Management Pod and our personal IGs. And lastly, huge shout out to Opulence Media Group for getting us set up. Thank you so much, you guys. Okay, let's do it. I'm actually...
Let's do it. You know what? This is like a large topic. And as usual, like we're going to keep it pretty basic.
Yeah, because like all of the topics we tackle were like, let's just spend 20-ish minutes chatting about this gigantic health issue.
It's like just so much more than that. But at least if we can, like just give a basic
and I
description.
Feel like just and honestly, at the end of the day, what I think it always comes back to is like what this whole thing is, what this podcast is about, your health and wellness and fitness journey and weird little science and trends and tips and topics among fitness and health.
Mm-hmm.
And so organic food is definitely a big component of that. And I don't know about you, but there's like, I don't know, when did you like first hear about organic food? Like what was your...
I feel like it's been 10 years. Like I find that my mom definitely always opted to buy organic if the option was there.
My mom definitely didn't.
No, like my mom definitely did. And I guess just start by saying like, what is organic or what does organic mean? Which essentially it's just food that's produced or, farmed based on the organic laws or whatever they are by basically not using pesticides, herbicides,
all right,
fertilizers.
that's exactly where we're going to have our first little debate, because they do use pesticides and different herbicides.
They do, but they don't use synthetic ones. That's the difference. So that's kind of what describes passing something as organic, I guess. If we were just to talk about the definition itself, it would be the non-synthetic use, I guess.
Okay. That's
it's still chemicals.
Yeah. I mean, if you just literally Google organic, it means relating to or derived from living matter. So organic, like generally speaking, just relates to anything that derives from living matter. But if what we're talking about is like the like farming,
organic food,
food or farming methods, without chemical fertilizers, pesticides or artificial agents. But yeah, I think that's the very first thing that and we don't have to talk about that. We don't have to get into that yet, but yeah, I think that's like a big myth about organic food is that they don't use
you
pesticides.
Think it's chemical free, or you think
chemical free. Like, first of all, everything's a chemical. Everything's made of a chemical compound.
Oh yeah, like there's not like their stuff is produced by plants and it's still toxic and it's still a chemical.
Like, formaldehyde is produced in the body. That's a naturally occurring substance in the body, but at different levels it can be toxic. So, but I actually went like full hippie. I think I've talked about this before with you when I was in like, I can't remember. It was after was it after like law school? It was sometime in like law school. I was getting into like yoga and hippie life. I literally started eating all organic. I went a little bit like vegan, vegetarian. And then I literally went up to the Kingston Peninsula and fucking grew my own fucking food for two whole summers. Oh yeah.
Did you have any food by the end of the fucking summer? Yeah. It takes a while.
God. Oh my God. No, we like grew it.
She was using fertilizers.
Probably. No. So we used organic seeds, whatever that meant. Yeah. I went like full hippie and like we grew a bunch of stuff though. And the key thing was we put fencing up So that's like obviously why a lot of like large farming uses pesticides or whatever to keep like animals and bugs and stuff off of it. We put a bunch of like fencing up to keep the animals out, but yeah, I ended up getting, I could probably like, I was making like salads every day out of it. Like,
that's nice.
Yeah. And at the end of the summer, we had like a solid harvest of like potatoes. Potatoes grew like mad. But yeah, I went full balls to the wall. Like, I don't want to touch anything. I don't want to like, it has to be all organic. And I still like, I hate admitting this, but I still buy like organic certain things.
Yeah.
For example, eggs.
Yeah.
Because I see the difference. I can visibly see the yellower yolk in an organic.
Yeah, it does have a different texture too.
It's richer. Yeah. But yeah, I guess what's your opinion? What's your opinion?
Yeah, like I guess I just buy certain things organic. So same thing as you, like we buy organic eggs. I'm big on organic bananas because same thing, I totally taste and see the difference. Like if you compare a regular banana to an organic, it's way more yellow, it's more rich, and it's like 10 cents more for one banana. So to me, that's like super easy and I just enjoy the taste. And then I just try to buy organic fruit because I just picture like the fruit being sprayed with like the mass machines. And then I start getting like weird and thinking that I taste these chemicals, which I totally don't like, but you know what I mean? So I just,
it is a little like mental, but also there is some validity in like how they taste and the texture and stuff like that.
The one thing that I'll say is like, I completely believe and understand that really the nutrient profile is the same, whether it's organic or whether it's conventionally farmed. Like nothing has more nutrients because it's organic. That's not what it's about for me. It's more so just, okay, if I'm buying organic, there are stuff that is limited from it, and it's just more closely monitored on the farm, I guess, because there's not really many regulations if you're doing conventional farming in terms of how many pesticides or herbicides you use. You just can douse something. And to me, I'm just kind of like, I'd just rather not if I had the option, I guess.
That's fair. I know for USDA organic certifications, at least, there's not much, I did a little research. There's not much difference in terms of like,
I think it's only 2 or 3 things that are banned.
Yeah. So I guess my whole thing comes down to this is that organic sometimes uses like the dirty dozen. There are people who don't have access to organic food. And will, because of organic marketing, will avoid eating fruits and vegetables,
which is awful.
Like conventionally farmed fruits and vegetables, because they're scared of like the pesticides, when really like the risk factor involved, like you'd have to eat like 800 apples, conventionally farmed apples, to even come close to, a toxic level of whatever the pesticide is. So to me, it's like, if you can afford it and it's something that you want to do, go for it. At the end of the day, I think, and two, the other thing is that conventional farming, a lot of people argue that organic farming is better for the environment. Actually, it's the opposite.
I know, I read that too. I was like, oh, that makes sense.
The opposite, because you have to use up so much more land and so much more resources to rotate the
crops,
organic food, right? So that's the other issue. But my whole thing is like, if you can go for, like, I still buy certain things organic, and I still like, I do think it's a little bit of the mental thing, but also, like you said, like I taste the difference, especially like in certain foods,
some of the stuff.
But yeah, that's like, it's, to me, it's just like, don't use fear tactics. Like, we don't have to use fear tactics in the marketing of it to like enjoy it, and you can have both, whatever. But I guess what's like you said, I feel like you glossed over this, but this really is like the crux of this whole episode, is like, it does, if you're trying to like lose weight or trying to make like a physical change, or
Yeah.
like
Like buying organic isn't going to make you lose weight faster, which some people definitely like, because how often do you hear it? Like, no, organic's just like better for you. And
I hear
that's
it all the
just a
time.
weird statement.
I think
Like,
I used to say it. I definitely used to say it. I definitely
yeah,
used to say that.
yeah.
Like I definitely used to
Like,
say,
it's definitely not going to make or break your
no,
weight
like
loss.
you don't have cellulite because you're not eating organic. That's
Right. Yeah.
the other day. They thought
No.
they had cellulite because of, they were like, oh, I recently switched to organic because the cellulite. And I was like,
Say
no,
what?
so what? Like, no, I don't know. What do you mean?
Yeah. Oh my
Like
God.
conventional farm
I
food
also
not
don't find
causing your
that.
cellulite.
Yeah, that's not a thing. I was also reading like about meat and stuff, like organic meat, which I don't typically find that we run into like having the option here
Yeah.
for organic meat. Like there's some chicken that will say raised without antibiotics or whatever. Um, yeah, so I think that's like I sometimes will buy that, but like from what I read about like organic meat, it's basically just based on their living conditions, right? So
Yeah.
like if you're attached to that type of morality or thinking, like you're like our organic eggs, like if you buy organic eggs, these chickens have complete free range of like a pasture. They're not kept in cages eating seed feed right there, right? Like they get to
Is
go.
free range the same as organic? You cut out.
What's that? Can you hear me
Never,
now?
yeah,
I
it's
was
never
very passionate. I
happened
was like,
before.
free range. I just smacked the mic and muted myself. Everyone was like, stop talking. No.
No, yeah. So
Um,
what is, I actually don't know this.
so they're similar. The only difference is so free range, like it sounds like the chickens do have some free range
like more
instead of being
space in
yeah,
coop,
so like
whatever.
just for everyone listening, like if you're not buying free range or organic and you're just buying regular eggs, like it's very likely that the chickens are just living in this tiny little cage and just being fed seed and like they're eating each other as well. It's not acute. It's very, yeah. So that's why I definitely always opt for at least free range.
Free
So the
range.
difference between free range and organic, from what I gathered, is maybe they don't have quite as much range, I guess, as like an organic, and also what they're being fed. So they don't necessarily have to be fed
Like
synthetic
organic
free
food.
things.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
they have free range. So they're at least able to like live this
Move
life and
around.
get some grass and stuff to eat.
I wonder what like qualifies though as free range. I wonder
I
what the
know. Like,
difference between
is there a
conventional.
diameter?
Yeah,
Is there an
well,
area?
probably. That's what I mean. There must
Yeah.
be some sort of regulation that like changes from like the little coop from conventional farming to like however many feet of space there is per chicken, right?
Yeah,
But yeah, no, that's a
definitely.
really good point. I think another thing though I saw in my like, my when I used to be really into, organic stuff and
Organics.
hippie stuff. So the antibiotic free thing
Mhm.
is actually really interesting because I mean, I don't know about you, but I use antibiotics all the time when I have
Mhm.
infections and stuff. And
Yes.
so antibiotic free is great. I think it sounds great, but sometimes like what if the animal has a
An
disease,
infection.
an
So
infection?
I was wondering about this because when I was reading about the meat, it did say that they had to be antibiotic free unless they had an
There's some
infection.
sort of like, yeah, like what about like pink eye? I saw this
Well,
with like one
animals
of the
get them,
cows. They get
yeah,
infections all the
all
time.
the time. They're
Animals.
outside. Yeah.
Yeah. So like it's like yeah,
So I
I mean,
think there are some exceptions, but don't quote me on that. Maybe that falls under like 100% organic instead of
yeah.
the or some organic, like, right? So we can talk a little bit about the labels. I think there's two different labels. There's like made with organic
Yeah,
materials, and
yeah.
then there's 100% certified
Organic.
organic.
Yeah, yeah. I know
And
in the US
so,
it's USDA organic.
yes, and
And
that's
I
the
don't know.
100%
Yeah,
organic, I think.
yeah.
And then the other one, it's a marketing thing, and
Yeah.
it's just like made with organic products or something. And that just means that only 70% of that product is made with organic stuff. And then
Organic
the other
stuff.
30% could be completely like synthetic or whatever, which is fine too.
And so
Like,
it literally comes down to like, well, oftentimes what we talk about is like the marketing around it, right? And
yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
creating this like this like idea that somehow organic is healthier,
Is
which
better. Yeah.
yeah, or organic is better, which isn't, it's just not always the case, right? Maybe occasionally it could be the case, but it's just not always the case to like slap a label on it. It's like the all natural label, right? Like slapping
Yeah.
a label all natural. Like, what does that mean? Like,
Mhm.
it just doesn't, it doesn't always carry the same weight that I think the industry and like maybe even diet
Mhm.
culture has like created for it. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's not going to make you lose weight better
No.
or gain muscle better or like change, like help you improve your overall health better. I mean, if again, I guess this all comes down to like if you are living a healthy, you know, if you're not having issues, if you're having a good life, like there's no need to worry about
Mhm.
something just because there's like a big buzz or trend toward organic. If you've been eating conventionally farmed foods your whole life with no issues, carry on as is. If you have
Mhm.
something though, if there's something off and you need to, it's like with our hormone episode. Like if something's off, go figure it out. Go get
Mhm.
testing done, go figure it out. But if there's nothing wrong,
Yeah. And I mean, if like, it's more expensive to eat organic, right? And sometimes I get annoyed at that, but then I picture the farmers literally hand weeding everything because they're not quite able to spray something that just dissolves the weeds, right? They have like their other ones, but from everything that I read today from even like organic farms, it's quite difficult to even keep some of the weeds, etc., bugs. Like their whole like crop could go down if they can't get rid of a beetle because their stuff's just not strong
oh,
enough.
that sucks.
Like that's like a lot of work. So I like to support organic in that manner as well, just because actually, so we have a campground up in kind of Browns Flat, and there's this elderly couple that run an organic blueberry farm, and they're out there busting their ass all day, spraying with like water to keep the bugs off and like hand weeding these like fields of blueberries. And they're like in their 60s. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna grab some blueberries from you guys.
That's hot, but that's like local to me. I
It
always,
is.
even like there's like we have a
It's
friend
the
up
same
on the
thing, yeah.
Kingston Peninsula. I can't even remember what's the farm called. I mean, they sell all their stuff at the Kingston Farmers Market up
Yeah,
there.
there's a
Anyway,
couple, but I know what you
yeah.
mean.
Yeah, they actually like they were organic, but they lost their certification or something because of like one little thing, right? And it was like
Yeah,
it's I don't know, it just to me it's like it's one of those
it's
like
hard. And there still can be people who like just like them, maybe it's like one thing that kept them from being organic, but they did a lot of things that are similar
too
with
organic.
that,
Yeah, yeah.
like using the least amount of chemicals possible. Like lots of people do that too. So it's just almost that pretty, organic label that kind of makes you seem like you're up here, when others are still trying their best to have the best, but just can't quite keep up, I
Yeah.
guess, with
Yeah,
everything.
to me the whole label, I just again, I'm you know me, like my whole thing is just about like like I don't like labels. I don't like the whole like hierarchy of like these different, to me it's all marketing. Like it really is like a lot
Yeah.
of marketing because
Oh,
even like
definitely.
organic farms, like they, do you know what I mean? Like you could have an organic farm and then all of a sudden like the regulations change and that farm is now no longer organic or
Yeah.
whatever, and nothing has changed on their
Yeah.
end. So what fruit was organic is no longer organic according to
Yeah.
like whatever. Anyway, so it's a lot of marketing that goes into it, but I think at the end of the day my whole thing is organic, eating organic food. Organic does not equal healthier. Organic does not necessarily equal safer. And organic is definitely not going to get you to your physique or fitness goals any faster, really. So if you can afford it and if you want to, if that makes you feel good, go for it. But
Yeah.
do not eat food
Oh God,
because
please,
it's not organic.
please still eat your fruit and veggies,
Please
even
eat
if they're the dirty dozen.
the dirty. Oh my God, eat the fucking dirty
So
dozen.
question about the dirty dozen,
Oh,
because
okay.
I
Yeah,
was
please.
like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if this might be a dumb question, but I'm sure if I'm thinking it, other people are. Because it's mostly skins that you don't peel. So like, apples or what other one upset me? Grapes. Oh, I
Um,
can't.
there's so the Dirty Dozen, apples, grapes,
Strawberries.
strawberries, peppers, tomatoes. What else?
Okay, I guess the only one that really like I'm wondering about
Peaches,
then.
lettuce, pears. Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
couple.
kale I think is on there too, and
Kale.
spinach. So anyways, I was wondering, like if I just peel my apple, is it all good?
No, but like,
Like I really want to know that. Like if it's being
no,
sprayed, can I just peel
no.
my apple?
I mean, the whole point is that the pesticide residue, like the whole point is
Does
that
it stay? That it grew up in chemicals? So like it's a part of it? I don't know. I should have maybe looked that up. I was just thinking that today. I was like, wonder if I
like
peel my apple.
even the highest levels of pesticide found on the Dirty Dozen are still hundreds of times lower
Mm-hmm.
than what is like what a human body can tolerate. Like it's so I don't know. That's why I didn't even think of that. Like I don't
I was
even
just
think of
curious. I'm
that.
like, well,
Like,
what if we just peeled our shit? Or like, I would never peel a grape though. I love that crunch.
yeah, no, you need that crunch. Yeah, no. And you wouldn't peel an apple either. You wouldn't get your
I do for
fucking
sage, so
yeah,
that's the
but
only
you
reason I
think
thought
about
of
it, you
it.
wouldn't get your fucking crunch.
Only because she chokes on the friggin' skin.
Well,
Yeah, love that crunch. Actually, I end up eating the peeling and then I give her the
just for the
apple.
crunch of the
I
peel.
take one for the mommy's taking this one for the
One for the
team, honey.
team.
It's not
Mommy.
organic.
Mommy's gonna eat this risky apple peeling. Okay. For you, baby.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Anyways, I thought of that. I was like,
That is, I actually saw something. I can't remember. Remember that show that was like shit, what was it? It was it's like undercover. It was like some kind of undercover thing where you go into like restaurants and they like find people doing like horrible things. And well, one of the
Yes.
restaurants was claiming that it was all organic. And apparently, like the head chef was just like really washing the fruit really well and claiming it was organic.
Oh my. That's
And that was an
not.
issue. So I think no. I think
It's still a pesticide apple.
I think that's not, I don't think that counts. But yeah.
I do love though when I buy non-organic, I love that there's no bugs on my shit because we got organic grapes.
Oh my God. Oh my
And there
God.
was a live spider in there. I was not ready. I picked out a grape and ploop, I swear this thing just jumped at me and I'm scarred, honestly.
I would not be happy. I would not be happy.
No, I was Googling this spider. I was like, Terry, it's a black widow. He's like, no, it's not.
It's a black widow.
I'm so dramatic. Anyways.
Yeah,
So.
no, that's about it. That's it. Obviously, this is like Danielle said, like this is like a very extensive subject that I'm sure we could go on, and we don't have that much time, nor do we have the knowledge or education or qualifications to go on about this. So, yeah, I think that's about it.
Love it.
Sweet. Thanks so much for joining, guys. We actually haven't discussed whatsoever what we're going to talk about next time. Should we just do that live right now? Fuck it. We're doing it live.
What are we doing?
I don't know. What are we doing? Do you want to just, I mean, fuck it. That's a quote, man. Fuck it. We're doing it live.
Oh, is that a quote?
Yeah. Anyway, what do you want to talk about? Do we want to talk about it? Or let's do a poll. We haven't done a poll in a long time.
Yeah, let's do a poll.
Poll the people.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. Okay.
We're going to poll it, ladies and gents.
Yeah. So look out for the poll on our Instagram after this episode airs, obviously.
Yes. So Monday the 24th.
Yes. We'll poll you guys on what we should talk about next week. So look out for it. Cool. Thanks so much for joining, guys. Have an awesome week. And again, huge shout out to Opulence Media Group for getting us set up. We'll see you next week.